Good evening, everyone, and welcome to EduTALK. EduTALk is a bi-monthly virtual talk show created out of the need for a global learning community focused on topics in education that directly impact Caribbean nations and diaspora nationals working across the globe. EduTALk features teachers, principals, administrators, business leaders, dignitaries, students, and people across the Caribbean, as well as the rest of the world, who share their expertise on critical topics facing education today, with the common goal of moving education forward and our students upward. I am Dr. Villeneuve-Dyce. I'm joined here. I'm supposed to be joined by or with Dr. Barker. So we'll see if he will come on as my co-host here this evening. I have with us our Chief Financial Officer, Mrs. Judy Villeneuve, as well as Juliana Dyce. And we're here, I feel like it's a family affair this evening, but we're here to talk about the launching of the reading program. I'm Dr. Dwayne Dyce. I'm the CEO of Education Solutions International. So just for advertisement, go to educationsolutionsinternational.org and subscribe to the website, and also subscribe to our channel, Education Solutions International TV on YouTube. Okay, so I want us to talk a little bit about ourselves, and then we talk about the reading program, which is coming on board. And if everybody was watching earlier on, the program, the flyer that is up, it's called Reading with the Jays. And let me just spotlight this for a little bit. Where is it? I can't even find the program now. So let me see if I can find it and then get everybody to see what we're talking about here. Reading with the Jays. It's not popping up at all. All right, there we go. So maybe we can, yeah. So Reading with the Jays looks something like this. And so the program is going to be aired every week on a Thursday evening. It's very exciting news because I was wondering when we're gonna have a reading show, directly impacting young people, especially throughout the summer right now. So I'm very excited for this. And these nice ladies here with me, they actually came up with the name. We're on the train going to, was it to the airport, Juliana? We're going to the airport or somewhere, and we're just discussing on the ground, just discussing about the reading program. And we decided that, let's do something for young people, especially the little ones who are between second grade and sixth grade. See if they can come on and be a part of some reading program as such online. And so I'm gonna get us here, the two host and co-host, to talk about it in more detail. So that's what we're focusing on EduTalk this evening. Okay, so who would like to go first? Just tell us a little bit about who we are as people, individuals, and then we talk about the reading show that is so exciting to come on board. Who would like to go first? Nobody? All right, Juliana, you go first. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm Juliana. I'm the co-host of Reading with the J. So, yeah, I also came up with the name while we were in the train. I just really think it will be fun to get to know people and get to read with them and stuff. So that's what I think. I mean, I think it will be fun.
Yeah, how old are you?
I am 9.
You're 9 years old?
Yeah.
So you're just gonna get into 4th grade coming in August. Oh, okay. All right. What do you like to do before we go over to the next host? What do you like to do?
I like to sing.
You like to sing?
Yeah.
Don't you like to read too? No?
No,
But you like a good story, because I reread what is Pippi Longstocking, and you love that book.
yeah, I like
Yeah,
things that like I feel like, I guess.
exactly. And you also write you write your songs too.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
trying.
And a lot of people don't know that you are actually a budding writer because you're working on a book for a long time now. A story. Yes, since you were 5. Yeah, so you have some things up your sleeve there.
Talents, I would call.
Talents, they call them, yeah. They call them talents. All right, Juliana. So Mrs. Villeneuve-Dyce over there, CFO, you were on Durvan Malcolm show earlier today talking about This is Jamaica by Peter Gracie, and showing off your technical and policy skills there. So give us a little bit about you that people don't know.
Okay, well, I'm wondering what people don't know. Dr. Dice, thank you for having me. Juliana, it's a pleasure to be hosting Reading with the Jays with you. Actually, Dr. Dice, you had a show where I was introduced actually to the idea of reading to kids. And that really was such a meaningful experience for me that I was very excited when you both proposed the idea of us, coming up with this reading show, because I remember how engaged the kids were, how much they enjoyed the stories. And you made a paid special attention to identifying stories that they could relate to, that taught a moral. Juliana was on that show a few times, participating in the conversations about the books. We're at a time, I believe, where kids are gravitating a lot towards technology and games and away from reading. So I'm hoping that by not only having a nice little girl on the show, somebody who the age group that we're trying to appeal to get them interested and excited about reading, but also just to keep those young people interested in learning through books.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much information in a book that you can learn, and it can really expand your mind. You can travel the world and even the universe by reading. And you really do grow as a person intellectually. So it's super, super exciting. And we plan to choose really fun books and have conversations with kids. And we're looking forward to kids joining and these conversations coming online and being able to really participate in all of our discussions about books. And they can even make contributions and recommendations about what books they would like us to read next, any books that they're working on that they love and that they want to share with the public. And Juliana also, any books that she really loves that she's reading, that she'll also be able to share, and hopefully even have some of her friends on the show and participate. So I'm really, really looking forward to it. And I have a fantastic co-host. Juliana is very energetic. And if you've ever had an opportunity to listen to her read, she reads with a lot of enthusiasm and excitement. She puts a lot of energy in her reading, and you really feel like you're a part of the story. So it's going to be really fun to work with her.
Excited. I am over here bursting with joy, So Juliana, when we're on that train and we're talking about, by the way, everybody, I'm reading with the J's. It's Juliana and Judy, the J's, and that's where it came from. And they're sticking with it because we're trying to brainstorm certain titles that were catchy and swingy and will just roll off the tongue. And Juliana said, yeah, let's do this because we have both J's in our names, and it would be so much fun. So what are your expectations for the show? What are you looking forward to for this show?
I'm looking forward to see like other kids like opinion on the story. Like they won't always have the same opinion as like say that I would have the same opinion as like mom too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I wouldn't, because like maybe she has more like more hard words in her explanation, and like it might mean the same thing but it won't sound like the same thing. And so like I'm really excited to like see how other people will just like explain it out and how they feel the book.
So
So
different perspectives.
yep.
Yeah, that makes sense. Different perspective does make sense. Yeah, and so all right, so we come back to you, Juliana, because I have a few more questions that will dig deeper into your own process, about this. Being a part of the education system, education in New York City, it's probably the biggest education concentration system in a tiny little space. Over 1 point something million students or kids. Judy, what do you see? How does this impact students, especially in the summertime now that they're off from school?
Yes,
mean,
I mean, oh, sorry. Did
Oh,
you say Judy or Juliana?
Judy. Juliana, you'll respond afterwards. Let's take turns here.
Sorry, Juliana. So there's a lot of reading loss that occurs in the summer, unfortunately. So you'll find that in private schools, they'll give you a reading list to ensure that kids are reading a certain number of books during the summer, so that when they come back, they still have maintained their fluency, their speed, and their comprehension, and also they continue to build their vocabulary. Unfortunately, that's not a traditional practice in public schools. I'm not really sure about charter schools, but it isn't something that we have to wait for schools to do. In fact, there are libraries that are free all year round that students and parents can go and select the books that they like and read during the summer. And it's highly encouraged, because what ends up happening is when they go back to school, it takes them a time. It's almost like a machine. The engine takes time to rev back up, and you might even lose a couple of weeks, if not the first month or two, getting back in the swing of learning. So it's very critical that kids continue to read during the summer, especially since you can't get away from reading. You need to read in science class, in history class, in social studies. You have to read word problems in math. It's not just in English. The fact is that you cannot escape reading. So it's very critical that kids continue to build up their reading skills and their facility and their ease of reading. Because once you've understood what a word, like Juliana actually pointed out something very particular, once you understand what the words mean, now it's about how do they resonate with you? What does the story mean? What does the author intend to communicate? What do you get from the story? Is that a character you can identify with? What is the lesson that they're trying to teach you? So reading is just the first step of getting, or the ability to read is only the first step of really engaging with materials. A lot of these stories are there to teach you something, to tell you something, to give you a perspective, like I said, to expand your mind and to grow you as a person. So yes, in New York City, we have lots of programs with public schools have programs with public libraries that encourage students to read. And that's something that we really prioritize in New York City public schools. And I'm sure every school system that wants to encourage children to learn would be doing the same thing.
Mhm. Juliana, you were gonna speak earlier. What did you want to share pertaining to that? That's a very good point there, Judy made.
I mean, I also got some ideas from Mom Two's thinking. So I was also thinking that so how she said about the reading programs or lists. My school actually has a little list, and so you can actually get things from it. Like every book you read, you get your name thrown in a jar, and then they'll give you little prizes, and stuff. And so I really like that, because it just tells us oh, let's read this so that maybe we can get this, and then that will probably want us to read more. And also I also got this other connection from Mom Two's thinking, also about how students stopped reading, and and then I just went oh yeah, people do stop reading, and they'll go on like trips and stuff, and then like they'll forget like certain words that they'll need in the other level or the other grade.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and then I was just like, wow, that's actually like really connecting to us kids, because like she might not like think of it as like a big connection to us, but like it really happens a lot to
Yeah.
us. Like even sometimes on weekends, sometimes like they'll just like stop and just like take like 2 hours just to play games and stuff like that.
Yeah. And I know the game is taking over their lives, because if they play so much that they don't even remember to do anything else. You know, they just get lost in the game. But so that's another story though. What do you think is like where do we start when you want to introduce reading to somebody, especially in the summer now that kids are off? And Juliana, you can think of this as within your own scope yourself. Your friends are off, and you say, "Hey, I'm hosting a reading program. You guys want to watch? It's fun." What do you think the reaction would be? Because this is summertime, or even in the year when they're going to school, and one evening per week you're reading in a program like this, and you say, "Hey, I'm hosting this reading program. You want to watch? Because it's probably fun." How do you approach that? How do you get them to get motivated to be a part of reading?
I mean, the thought of me just like being in something like that would probably just bring their attention, like be like, oh, I want to see her. And so like they might like call me, and then I wouldn't answer. So then like most of the time we'll tell each other what we're about to do, so that they don't really like they know not to like, and like
But how will they come on the program? How will, or even if they don't come on the program, how will you get them to actually engage in some reading?
I mean, I would probably tell them like there's this fun book like some friends like animals. And so like I would tell them like, oh, there's the animal book is coming on this week, you know?
Ah,
And then they might see the show and be like, okay, maybe there's more animal books. And so then they'll start like keep on engaging with the program. And so
okay. So you brought up a very good point, because I want to ask Judy, Mom too, about this. We probably should call her Mom too on the program. So you mentioned introducing something that they like a title that they like animal books, some genre that they love, animals, sports, cars, baby dolls, all of those things. It draws my attention, and Judy, you and I talk about this culturally responsive material.
Yes.
That students have to respond to, or we have to provide so that students will respond to culturally responsive curriculum. And in this case, we talk about culturally responsive resources and material, because a lot of these kids are not going to gravitate towards some of the things that we want them to do, but if we find the things that they want to do. What do you think?
Well, I think Juliana is really spot on. The fact is that kids are only going to want to read things that they like already. They're going to want to learn more about it. One of the things that I think we can do with this particular show, Reading with the Jays, is we can provide a PDF of the book we're going to read the next week. And that gives them the incentive, because they'll have had an opportunity to read it and to actually engage with the material with us, having already read that material. So it's kind of like an online book club, because that's what book club does. Book club, everybody knows what the book is. They have a certain number of weeks to read it. And when they come back, they can actually refer to certain lines in the book that actually have them speaking to certain ideas that the author was trying to talk about. I think it will help kids to become more engaged. And what we hope to accomplish is to get kids into the habit of reading every day. So we'll be talking about kids setting up a time, finding a little quiet space in their house, either in the morning or in the evening before they go to bed, where they start creating good reading habits. And that just has to be 15-20 minutes a day. And they will see the growth in their own ability, not only to be able to read, but also to be able to express themselves. Because Juliana said that I use big words. Well, it happens that over a certain amount of time, when you read enough, you read a lot of words, you end up learning all these words, and it's much easier to express yourself. So that's the same thing we want all kids to be able to do, because it's the way you express yourself also reflects your level of intelligence. People assume how smart you are based on the words that you use. So we're trying to make sure that kids are not only smart, but that they sound smart when they're communicating. The only way to do that is through reading.
Go ahead, Juliana, you want to say something?
Yeah, and also also they might try to find out what reading level you're on, from your words that you use. I will definitely be on small level compared to Mom 2's level of reading. She'll read harder books than me, which if I try reading them, I might get a few words right, but not every word right. And I really think that it will be fun if I had my friends on here and stuff, because they'll probably try to connect to the book, be like, oh yeah, I knew this before, and stuff like that.
That's where we're going with this. Yeah, go on.
They might try to make connections with real life, maybe they might know some things about dogs that are the same as humans, and so it's really I can't wait to just have
it's exciting. So you're jumping the gun here talking about your friends, because but the next part, so we talk about material, and we talk about what sort of resources that will get to entice people to love reading, students. And so we talk about engagement with people in the program. And you mentioned, Juliana, that it's good that we probably could invite some of our friends on here, not on EduTALK, but in the reading program, to get them to come on and engage themselves in the setting and the discussion and the reading, so that they're starting to feel like they're a part of it and they love it. How do we get them to come on the program? What are some of the ways that we can encourage young people? You're talking about second graders, third graders, fourth graders, fifth graders, to come on, just a few of them at a time, and engage in the program, Reading with the Jays. Judy?
Well, I mean, honestly, we have to reach into our network. We're in a situation right now where social media is the way to communicate. There's no way around it. So once we've started the reading show and parents see what is being offered, we need to be able to, it needs to be on a platform where they have access. They will start encouraging their kids to participate, because they all want their children to be able to read. So it really matters the quality of the material that we're going to be sharing, and the level of participation will increase as a result of our dynamic interaction with our books. We also are going to choose 1 or 2 words of the week to increase vocabulary. We'll make sure that everybody knows what books are coming up that we're going to be reading, so they have time to prepare. All of those things are very pedagogical in a sense. We're actually creating an opportunity that schools try to recreate, and doing this in the summer is especially useful for those parents that are very concerned about kids being able to read. But people like Juliana, little people that are doing the work, they're very attractive to other little kids. So I'm assuming her network we can tap into. She'll have her friends come on, and her friends have friends, and it can really, go like wildfire once the little kids know that it's there and they have a platform to express themselves. Another thing that I wanted to mention, that Juliana actually triggered in me, thank you so much, was the fact that connections are being made. A lot of people don't realize that reading is, it's kind of it can be a passive exercise, but people who read well and comprehend well are also able to speak and to write well. So all of those connections Juliana was mentioning, those are the kind of things that they look for you to make connections about in standardized test essays and reports. They're always asking you to identify in that story, how do you identify with that character, or what in your real life does this story remind you of? And it asks you to make assumptions and connections. So I love the fact, Juliana, that you're doing that in the conversation, because ultimately, once you learn how to read well and you learn the vocabulary, you'll also be able to write just as well as those authors that you're reading. Yes. So it's really wonderful that you're making those connections. And that's exactly what we want our little kid readers to do as well, to make those connections and to talk to their peers like you, Juliana, and have those conversations in a deep way. We can even have activities that after the show to share with them, where they can write out those kinds of things so that they can get in the habit of that cyclical understanding of seeing the relationship between reading and writing.
Yeah. Well, go ahead, Juliana, please.
And also, I also think that it will be really fun if they actually saw the program for what it was. If it was a space program and they really liked animals, they would probably not be into it. And also how Mom too said about how the parents engaging them to come, they will probably the kids will probably be like, oh, that sounds cool, if they had a certain topic that we were talking about, if they love space and we were talking about cars, they probably wouldn't be on it. But if they love space and we were talking about space, they would probably really love it. And then they'll be like, I wonder if I'll find more things that I will learn to love.
Yeah.
And so they'll be and then after a while they might turn into people that love reading when they loved space and stuff. Then they'll read about space and stuff.
Yeah, you brought up a very good point. Yeah, go on.
And also about how how if you read the author's handwriting, then it will make you write like them.
And to write, yeah.
Also thinking that the authors would have to read other authors' papers.
Definitely.
And then and also the authors probably read a lot of papers. It might have even been from different types of authors that wrote to mix into their type of handwriting. And so I also think that the kids will learn how to mix up and make their own handwriting.
Yeah.
Not every kid has the same handwriting, and I feel that's also with authors too. Not every author has the same handwriting. So I think that it will be really fun to see how kids learn how to love things that they never thought they would really love before.
Yeah. Good point. Because I was thinking too, when you mentioned about if a kid comes on and they love space, and if they see that they're reading about space, then they would want to stay because they love space, not necessarily love the reading, but because they're talking about space, then they stay. And then that over time allow them to actually love reading because they want to know more. So they love information because of the thing that they're learning about. And that's exactly what happened to me when I was little. I never liked reading so much, but because I love science and I love space and I love rocks, I love cars, and I love sports. And anywhere the book was in any of those areas, especially science, I'm right there. I was so much in love with it until when I was leaving elementary school in 6th grade in Jamaica. I actually got a science book for my award in science, because I loved it so much. I think I performed very well. And they gave me a little, they call it I think it's called Kids Encyclopedia, and it has everything in the book from the smallest little, smallest atom to a massive whale. And they have names and they have descriptions of what they are, what made them up, how many bones in their bodies, and so on. And I was fascinated by that book. I was living in it every single day. So yeah, you're right, Juliana. So you could come because you love the thing that they're talking about, not necessarily love the reading, but you stay and then you gradually love the reading. So that makes sense.
Also,
Also, yes.
like about how you like certain topics. They might think like, oh, I can read this type of book, and then they'll start doing it like maybe every evening or every morning, and then they'll be like, wow, I really love reading because
Yeah.
of that special topic.
Yeah.
And then they might start writing like little books that they just found out, like they might find out like the type of
Type of topic or genre?
the type of binoculars that like special like bird watchers use.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
And then
activities.
they will like then they'll start like trying to like maybe make their own book and then maybe share it with their friends, and then their friends will like maybe have a dad that is an author like you, and
Or
so,
you. Yeah.
and so
I feel
like
like this is becoming personal. So, Juliana and Judy, reading with the Jays, coming up soon. Next couple of weeks, we're gonna launch that program, and I'm so excited for you guys who are hosting it, Juliana and Judy. The two Jays. What do you think will be your long-term goal for the program? Because we're winding down now for this program, and I want you to talk about your long-term goal, your objective for the program. Because I know it's your first. Judy, you have hosted a program when you're in high school or college.
College.
College, and it's
Yeah, when I was
called
studying journalism.
journalism. Yeah, that was a nice program there with you, and it brings out a lot, and people love it because of the entertaining aspect of it, but also that they learn information from it. So we have to get the sort of idea just like that into the program, fuse into the program. And Juliana, as you said, Julie, earlier on, with her vibrant personality, to get people to want to listen more. So what are your objectives for this program? Long-term goal. Talk about that.
My long-term goal, honestly, it has to do with my relationship when I was young and I was learning how to read. I had a reading difference, so I could have easily gravitated away from reading entirely because I was having difficulty when I was a little kid to, I guess you could say, sound out the words and break them down phonetically. I realized that I learned in chunks. So I would memorize the entire word. Sounding it out was a problem for me.
Mhm.
So what my mom did, which was really wonderful, is she read all of my stories and would read like literally read them out loud to me while I was following in the book. So with our technology that we have access to now, kids can use their computers or their phones to read to them. So kids like us who have, let's say, a different relationship with reading for whatever reason, will not be alienated in our show. They will have a venue where they can listen to stories, they have an opportunity to read the stories ahead of time, and they can really start to love reading the way I eventually loved reading. And I turned out to be a fantastic writer. And that's where I focused, so much so that I ended up writing, doing journalism in my youth and, writing for newspapers. And, I started in high school doing all types of publications and short stories and long stories and everything you can imagine. And I probably would never have had that opportunity had my mom not found a way to read to me. So reading to children is very important because it makes sure that everybody, regardless of their abilities or their challenges, get to really appreciate and learn to love reading.
Mhm.
And they'll use it in whatever way that they have to. So for me, writing is one of my most favorite things to do. But I also loved science as a kid. So I think it really helps us to be more balanced and to be able to develop ourselves. So I'm hoping that this opportunity that we have here, Reading with the Jays, will be one that's so inclusive that we get to capture all kids at whatever level of reading that they're doing and turn them into lovers of reading.
Yeah, yeah. Juliana, what's your long-term goal for the program, Reading with the Jays?
I mean, I just want like kids to like love to like read like her, and like I want them to like feel like they can do like really anything that they put their mind to, really. Like
Yeah, they have to
if,
put their mind to it first.
like if they don't think they can do it, they won't do it,
Yeah,
of course,
exactly.
because they've already told themselves, "Oh, I can't do this." But if they like at least have a little bit of courage in themselves, or they think that they can do it a little bit, then they will like actually go for it and actually like maybe tell their mom or dad like, "Hey, I want to read this book." Then they might get it and stuff,
Mhm.
and then they'll start reading, and then they might like become something big from just reading. And so like I just want people to know like you can actually do anything, really.
Yeah, yeah. That you set your mind to. So, okay, so reading will cause you to open up your understanding and you can achieve anything you want to do through reading. You can't say you cannot do it. All right. Any final thoughts on the program? I know it's gonna be aired on Thursdays, somewhere around 7 or 8 o'clock in the evening. 7 o'clock on Thursdays. And so I think there's a rebroadcast as well. So sometime in the week, there's a rebroadcast somewhere that if people miss it, then they can go back and watch it. It will come up a lot, especially that one that is in the week. I think you guys are gonna run it again and again without being there. It's just, rebroadcast. And then the following week, you get a couple more runs out of the other one and so on and so forth. All right. Thank you so much, the Jays, Reading with the Jays. Thank you for coming on and, give us your take on the new reading program that is coming up, Reading with the Jays. For our viewers out there, please go to educationsolutionsinternational.org and subscribe to our website. There are a few information on there, set of information that you can become a part of and reach out to us, educationsolutionsinternational.org. We're doing a wonderful job across the region, Caribbean region. And we also looking for volunteers. If you want to volunteer for anything at all in education, you can reach out to us. Our mailing list is there that you can become a part of. Subscribe, educationsolutionsinternational.org. And also, if you're on this platform watching on YouTube, you can subscribe as well. It's our YouTube channel, Education Solutions International TV. You can also check out our Facebook. We don't have a Facebook page yet, it's coming up soon, but on our personal Facebook page, you can get on there. Just type in my name straight, Villeneuve-Dyce, and you'll get to my Facebook page. Everything is shared there. And you can see also, if you scroll down, a bunch of different things that we shared on there, including the trip to Dubai. The first time in Dubai, Miss Villeneuve-Dyce and myself went to Dubai. Juliana was online watching us in Dubai. It was fun. Dubai is a really nice place for everybody if you want to visit. There are some tall buildings. We're gonna write about them too, sharing some nice kids stories about them, about that place. It's really nice, very, very fun. All right, take care, everybody. Thank you so much for coming on, Juliana and Judy. And thank you so much for this program that you're putting together, Reading with the Jays, starting next week, Thursday, at around 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. I think we have some books lined up that they're going to kick off the program with. Next week, Tuesday, stay tuned for another program, EduTALK. And EduTALK is aired mostly on Tuesdays. I said every other Tuesday, but sometimes we have a special on a Wednesday or Friday night that we have to give, you know, because it is very, very demanding, that particular one that we want. Once you see EduTALK special, it is very special. Okay, thank you so much, Juliana, for coming on, and thank you, Judy, CFO of Education Solutions International. And Juliana is co-host of Reading with the Jays. All right, bye everybody, take care, and thank you so much for coming on. Bye, walk good,